There we go. I hadn't heard that song yet. It's very poppy. It's got a good vibe to it. How's everyone doing today? Welcome, welcome. We're going to give everyone a few minutes to join. Please comment. Where are you from? Where are you joining us from today? I'd love to know. Do you have any questions, or is there something you're struggling with? So those are the couple things that I was guided to ask about today. We were just up at Vedette Lake. For those of you that don't know, Vedette Lake has been dubbed Center of the Universe by Tibetan monks. And these monks came in and did a bunch of tests and left these tablets there. And this was at least 15 years ago. And they wanted to actually buy the property, and it was declined. Hello, Andrea. How are you today? It was declined to buy the property. And so they left 4 tablets, one in each of the directions, and then one also in the lake. Now, the lake sits upon, and the whole area, you can see it is on a tectonic plate. So the energy's there. Not only is there an energy vortex with the ley lines, but there's also the lake that is 300 feet of water, another 300 feet of silt, but it's open at the bottom. So who knows what's going on down there? There is an energetic dragon in the lake from another dimension. There is a lizard that supports a land lizard, and the Sasquatch visit there. We did see a baby bear while we were there across the lake doing his thing, although we didn't see mom, so that's a little interesting. Absolutely. And we really unplugged. We went in on the Wednesday, and 2 people were doing a vision quest. Now, what's that? What's that, do you ask? A vision quest is when you fast for at least 4 days, 72 hours to 4 days, kind of whichever falls first. You can choose to not sleep or sleep a little bit, but the idea is to put yourself in such a state where your body starts to do that cleanse. It can be a little discombobulating at times. It can be very energetic and freeing at other times. And then you drop in and do mushrooms. And by doing the psilocybin mushrooms, you can ask specific questions. A vision quest can be you're looking for your spirit names, spirit animals, insight on questions. And we had a really beautiful soul come home to herself. And what does that mean? She realized she's all she needs. And she doesn't need to look externally for self-satisfaction, for others to approve of who she is. So quite often what we find is by looking externally and having expectations of someone else to behave or act a specific way, we are often led to disappointment because our minds are meaning-making machines, and we put this upon people and only to be disappointed because they don't actually do what we expect. Of course, they're doing their own thing, right? And so unless, you're clearly communicating your needs, wishes, desires to others in a kind way and know that they can help support you, you're often going to be disappointed seeking outside of yourself. Now, seeking within self, meaning if I have a question or I'm struggling with something, it's up to me to figure it out because I'm the only one that's within this vessel that is going through what is happening. And so I know much of the collective right now is being tested in some area of their life as a final kind of, you got to let go. You got to let that go. And you got to trust the unknown. Now, I've been saying this for a long time, and I'm really good on certain levels. There's a couple that I still struggle with, and one of them is around the finances, right? In this paradigm, in this realm, at this time and space, one needs money to pay the bills, right? And so it's definitely it's like things have just been clawed away slowly but slowly. And I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Something big must be going on. And so I've just been doing my very best to observe it and stay really present. Now, that doesn't mean we're starving by any means or that we can't pay the rent right now. But, I can feel where much of the collective is at around this stuff. and understand what's going on. So just wanted to put that out there. And Andrea says, I'm struggling right now with some sound sensitivity. Have you got your headphones on? I know you picked up some noise canceling headphones. Those could be very, very, very helpful. So, and also, not looking at external things, not watching videos, not playing a game, not watching TV, just being still, quiet, maybe reading a book, getting out in nature. Nature always nurtures. Having a bath, doing something for self, right? Showing yourself that you love yourself can really help shift through many things. And that sensitivity is likely an activation of sorts that's happening for you. And there's many going through that as well. So these activations, these expansions that are occurring are definitely affecting many. So I'll leave it at that. Oh, Andrea didn't plug them in. Okay, so let them charge. Yeah. In the meantime, I'm gonna just put a headband on something, or wrap something around your head so you can cover your ears. That would certainly help. Let's see what's going on for this. Yeah, you're getting new gifts. You're going to be able to hear more soon. So as we energetically get higher in our vibration, we will be able to tune in to other frequencies more. And so maybe ask your guides. Is there something we can do to turn this down a little bit, this sensitivity? Yeah. And today I wanted to also chat about the 8-8 portal. And I'm just going to go ahead and do some healing at the same time, so you can choose to take it on or not. And we know that numbers have energy, right? We know numerology can tell us a lot, and astrology can tell us a lot, that our birth time is so important. As we do this and understand that we're coming up on this 888 portal. So it's always been known as a really big alignment with the sun and Sirius and the new moon all lining up at that point. It's a beautiful time for energies to come in, for these pillars of light to come in, that we can have more spiritual experiences, more connection, more messaging coming in for us. And you can ask, right? Write it out, speak it out, think about it. What is it you want? And what you focus on gains traction because you're giving it energy. So whether you want it or you don't want it, right? Where are you putting your attention and your energy and your intention? So for me, around the 8-8 happens to be my birthday on the 7th. So this is a really important, um, and I don't care about birthdays. I don't celebrate them. I just tend to go off in nature and do something by myself. That's my idea of just taking time for self, which I, love to do. So, but this portal and this new moon, and then what happens in me for astrology is Venus is in my money house and Venus was in the underworld and Venus is coming back out. So if you don't know your astrology, on the 7th, I have Tamara, who's in Kelowna here in Canada, and we've connected, and she's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful reader. Very, very, very tuned in. And I have been asking and asking for an astrologist to join the collective. So I'm very excited about that. So for those of you just joining, thank you for joining. I'm having a discussion with myself around the 8-8 portal. Now, this is important for everyone right now that is listening to this, aware of this. You think about an 8. An 8 is the infinity symbol. What does it really represent when we talk about the infinity symbol? It really represents us in a way, the cosmos, the universe. Everything's always in motion. And so at our center point, so the middle of the 8 or the middle of the infinity symbol, and then we keep going around and we're spiraling up as we go. So this is my understanding of it. For me, this rings true. You could choose to do it this way. I'm much more feel like, okay, I go do something, I'm off of my center, so to speak. I go out and about for a few hours and then, okay, come back to my center, call on my energy back to me through all space, time, and dimension, and get grounded back in. And if we're always, as much as possible, sitting in our heart center, higher heart, if you choose, and we're sitting there and we're having nice, big, deep, calm breaths in through the nose and out through the nose, it's very easy to find our center again. If we can quiet the mind enough to not be racing and chasing and doing the what ifs or shoulda, coulda, wouldas on either the future or the past, then we can start to really be present. And being present is the biggest gift. It's the biggest gift to ourselves. It's the biggest gift to others. Hello, Angela. Good to see you. And to have that connection with self in such a way that you love yourself. Because when we love ourselves, almost nothing really matters. Yes, we care about things, but there's a lot less angst, a lot less anxiety, a lot less depression. And I'm bringing this up around this 8-8 is because this is important. Have you heard about walking the 8? And this came in on, there's a shaman on YouTube with Pam Gregory that came up with it. Shared it. I'm sure it's been around forever. And it's funny, you basically walk in an infinity symbol as you're thinking about something. You want to move traffic, right? You want to activate my third eye, right? You're doing an infinity symbol. So it's a very powerful because it doesn't start and doesn't end. It goes on. It attracts. You could do it on your palm. Try it right now. Put your palm out and draw the 8 on it and tell me what you feel. It's like an activation for me. I'm being activated. And Andrew was on the meditation this morning. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. As part of our membership on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7 a.m. PT, I do a 15-minute meditation for whatever I'm called to do. And this morning was a bit of a DNA activation and just a calming, healing meditation. So my desire and one of my gifts is to be able to use my frequency, my voice, and combined with energy, and I call it sovereign energy. And that'll likely be the course that I teach. That one is never, don't pigeonhole ever that, oh, it's like being in a textbook in the medical system and saying this is the only way. Well, we know there's many other ways. The same goes for energy healing. Reiki is one way, quantum is another way, but there's yet another way. There's a way to get quiet and tap in and do as guided. And I know many of you are coming into this because I get all kinds of little messages now where I'm just guided to do this differently or activate differently, right? You could be doing this on your hand and say, I activate my guides to bring in abundance, to assist me, to show me, to utilize me in ways and show me the signs, show me the path to take, guide me, whether it's by intuition, by words, by actions, by a video, or somebody saying something. Now, when you do this, you have to go back into the observer mode very strongly. Lately, for me, it's been I ask for feathers, and I've been finding them pretty much every day and in the odd places. So you just need to ask. If you don't ask, you don't receive. You're expecting, they're not going to read your mind, so to speak, right? You need to ask for it because that sends out a frequency. Every word you say is sending out a frequency. Every action you take is sending out a frequency, right? So you have to be very conscious of what you're doing. And many of us are very busy being parents, running a business, in survival mode, and carving out that little bit of time every day just for self. It could be 10 minutes, it could be 15, It could be half an hour, getting out in the garden, getting out into nature. If you have little kids, get them out into nature. You will see that they are so in tune. I was seeing a client today in the painting business who was getting a quote, and she is uh, here we go. Norm's got a message for everyone. She's a teacher and she's teaching 11-year-olds. She took them to the ocean. Most had never had their feet in the sand. Most were afraid of the water. At 11, I had no idea. I had no idea that, I had some idea, but I had no idea that kids that were that disconnected from nature. And that would be really important. And Norma's just doing a reminder here. We do live weekly Zoom calls on our membership. Norma, you want to pop in the link in the chat too for joining the membership? Once a week, we get together in a live Zoom. You can ask anything you want, and we will give honest and complete answers, or we will come back to you if we don't feel we have the right answer for you. Most of the time we do. As well, it's those 3 mornings a week of meditation. You can do them any time of the day, and they're in the catalog. There's a blog with all kinds of info there, and you have an opportunity to really get to know you better, because we will be a mirror. We will guide you. We can never do the work for you. I can assist you with the healing. We can help you understand yourself better through genealogy. And that will be something that's coming up soon where we start to run people through that. Genealogy takes astrology, numerology, and bundles it all together. And it's quite profound. So it really lets you know what's going on. Hey, Tango, we see you over on Rumble. Thank you for sending love and light to all. And nothing is more important than loving yourself. Absolutely not. Hit the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the shares, and make sure you subscribe if you're not already. And Tango says, hi, Norm's time. So, yeah. And the membership will grow as we go, right? The goal is we're creating it to create that community so we can connect more. Many people are leaving social medias. At our group session, there's another woman over on the Sunshine Coast who doesn't have Facebook, and we've got a Vedette Facebook group. So we're building that on the website now. So we see a need, we build it. So what do you guys need? What do you want? What's important for you? I would love to hear that. And we're just going to do a little grounding for everyone. You could do the 8 on your hand and ask for grounding as well. You can put stones down and walk the 8 through that. Asking for everyone to have a little heart expansion. You're going to have to ask for the guide connection. I'm not allowed to ask for you at all. Can only ask for self. I can be a conduit, though, for any messages that are for you. And I've been doing that a lot with animals lately. It's pretty funny. Clients like, why does my dog like you so much? I was like, he knows that I can read him. And so, oh yeah, he's got a lot of anxiety. And I just looked at her and I said, and so do you, right? So we had a nice little conversation about it. And then I showed her what she could do to relax him. So that hands across the back and then right above the tail, he's like on me. He's like loving me. Absolutely. And so I really love connecting with the animals. They're beautiful souls. They're here to assist, and cats too. It's profound how much cats can support and assist and help. Yeah. So no matter where you are right now, no matter how you may be struggling at this time or not, finding that joy as much as you can in every single moment is really, 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 really important. Really important. Yes, Andrea, that's 1 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, just for this weekend, we're going over to the island, Vancouver Island, and we are going to visit um, the Doig House Earthship. And we've moved that retreat to next spring. We didn't have quite enough interest, so we've decided it's important. In fact, many people are staying home right now. Many people. There's definitely the regular campers and people doing stuff, but right now across BC, there are fires everywhere. There was a few heat domes, as I like to call them now. And, there was some ferry issues. So there's all these little things playing along to get people to stay put a little bit more and just to be at home. And so I'm really feeling that's a lot of what the collective is doing their own connection to self without realizing why they're doing it. Maybe they're purging their home. Maybe they're looking to move. Maybe they're not sure what's going on, but home just feels good right now. And that I would say is actually a very true statement, that home feels good right now for people. That safety, that security. Um, the crazier the outside world, the more chaotic it becomes that we are witnessing, the more people are gonna turn off because they can't handle it. Their system can't handle it. And so they're naturally doing things to better themselves without even realizing they're doing it, which is quite profound and beautiful. Yeah. And when one stops seeking externally so much, whether it be on a political show happening in the world or a war going on in the world, when you start focusing on what you know to be tangible and real for you, so to speak, that noise will dissipate. And I'm not saying that one shouldn't have some empathy, compassion for some of what's happened in the world. Absolutely. But it would be it would be definitely a challenge to always be thinking there's something wrong in the world and living in that energy, right? Because now you want to see it resolved. So whether you can physically do something great or whether you can meditate and work on self, and that in turn affects everyone around you, to me, that's much more powerful. Anybody I know that does some deep spiritual work that is definitely here as a light worker, a light warrior, a healer, is more focused on self. They're not focused on the external because they realize the more we give our attention to something and intention, the more we're giving our energy away. It's no different than, as Andrea is saying here, um, who recently got a new job. I'm finding that work has proven to be problematic energetically, but you can manage that. And so this is the gift within this, is to learn how to manage that. You love coming home at the end of the day. Absolutely. Yeah, so there is a lot going on, right? When you're at work and and I happen to know she's in retail, so interacting with the public, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm interacting, but I've bubbled myself for the day. Shields up. But it doesn't mean that I can't be kind, compassionate, but not go into that empathetic, I need to rescue, I need to help. That is, therein lies the challenge when you're doing that. And I used to be in retail, and it's a lot of give, 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 give. There's not a lot of get back, except maybe a smile or a thank you, right? So the give back is not the same as when one is doing the work I'm doing now, which is energy and giving people support, creating custom meditations, doing healings. This is much more important, in my opinion. And so just releasing the day, just let the day go and just be here in the now. And I think we're going to drop into a little meditation, because I'm being guided to. So go ahead and close your eyes and breathe in through the nose and a count to 4. Pause. Breathe out for a count to 6. Pause. And keep breathing that way. Give your mind something to focus on while we do this. This is very, very helpful. It can keep your brain active and focused on something. Thank you, Sergey. While we go through this, and let's focus on this eight, this abundance. This year has been quite the year energetically. There's been a lot going on, and for me, chaos is energy that can be utilized. And so, even when things seem a little chaotic out there, we can find that inner peace. We simply need only close our eyes. So please close your eyes now. And as you're doing the breathing, I want you to put your consciousness on your higher heart, your thymus, or your heart space. It's up to you. And as you do this breathing, drop your shoulders. Put your feet flat on the floor if you can. And if you can't, that's okay. And as you close your eyes, there's nowhere you need to be. There's nothing you need to be doing at this moment, except let me guide you in finding your center for a moment and letting you feel this energy as we drop you in. And if you would like to visualize at the top of your head a white ball of light, and we're going to let that drop down over our heads, through our body, around our body, going over our heads, our foreheads, our eyes, your nose, your ears, the back of your head. It's going all through your brain, and we're activating those cells. Activate cells. These guides come in and please help activate cells. You can speak that out loud. We want these cells to be activated and operating at a premium. This is part of the abundance. For when our cells are activated, one is operating at a higher capacity, a higher vibration. This light's going over the cheeks and around the head and through the head, over the tip of the nose, upper lip, lips, chin, jaw, down to the nape of the neck and the back, bottom of the ears. We're just going to let it roll around and through, down the neck, cleansing and clearing, not just our bodies, but our field as well. You can visualize this going out further and further through your auric field. Down to the shoulders, the chest, the upper back, going down through the upper arms, the elbows, the forearms, the wrists, and the hands, to the ends of the fingers. Activate that energy. For your hands are always for healing. I'd like everyone to take one finger now and write 888 on your left or right palm, whichever you choose. And with this inscription, we call in abundance. Abundance is our birthright. Abundance is unique to each of us. And so therefore, whatever abundance is for you. Abundance is never in need of anything. Abundance is joy. Abundance is happiness. Abundance is freedom. Abundance is nature, for we are nature. To commune with nature, to connect with nature, For me, that's a huge joy and abundance for me personally. And as we let these energies continue down the body, under the arms, the chest, the middle of the back, the upper stomach, the sides of the back. You can visualize and do this scan on your own, for it is like going into a healing chamber, an activation at the same time. Those cells know exactly what to do to purge anything that is not for your highest good. And then you assist it along the way. Bathing in salt water, bathing in the ocean, sitting by a river. Down through the stomach, the intestines. Many have been purging from here recently. Down to the hips, the tailbone, the buttocks, the upper thighs, the sides of the thighs, and the hamstrings. If we have tight hips, those are generally associated with trapped emotions. So what are you holding? We're going to let that go right now. Take a deep breath in through the nose, and this time out through the mouth. There we go. Beautiful. Down over the knees. A few people have knee aches right now. What are you not moving forward on? Remember, it's those little steps every day that make those big moves, those big transitions over space, time, whatever you prefer to call it. And time's been speeding up. It's becoming really irrelevant. It's required for some things, but the goal is to not wear a watch, not be worried about the time, not be living by time, programmed by the time. Down through the knees, then the calves, shins, the front of the shins, down to the ankles. Down to the feet, bottom of the feet, the heels, the tops of the feet, the sides of the feet, all the way down to the toes. The toes knows. Every part of your body is connected to your feet and your hands and your face. But as Norma Jean always says, they're terminals. It's like a battery, right? So plugging your hands or your feet onto a tree, into nature, can greatly assist and help. I don't know about you, but my fingers are tingling like crazy. Angela says she's heading to the mountains this weekend. Beautiful. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Rivers can recharge you. It's important too to find that space in each and every day, so you're not putting it off. So what can you do? Can you have a little foot bath? Can you listen to a waterfall? Waterfalls are beautiful with ionics. And we'll talk about the Tiamat afterwards as well, Angela. I see your question. Just keep breathing and imagine that this energy is now coming up through your energy centers, activating, coming out the top of your head towards your star chakra, about 6 to 8 inches above your head, and then flowing like a river down, right back down to your earth star chakra. And for those of you that don't know, that's about a foot. These came in 2012 as the additional chakras for the human body to help us through this transitional time, this expansion of consciousness that's occurring right now on the planet. And these support us, keeping us grounded, keeping us tuned in. There we go. You can choose to stay there and keeping your thought process Whenever something's going on around me, I always just take a breath in and put my attention intention here. I do the same thing when I'm using the rods. So I'm operating from here, not from here. And being that observer, I'm not my mind, I'm not my brain. My thoughts are not facts. And emotions do come and go. Your emotions are reacting to the environment around you to give you a signal to let you know something is going on. It's important to not go attach, right? And hang on to it. It's important to observe it and ride it. And what's it showing you? What is this about? Is this about me? Is this about the environment? Is it just something new and I'm nervous sighted? There's many ways to work through these emotions. Yeah, absolutely. And as I'm just dropping into this Tiamat for Angela, Angela's asking about her connection to Tiamat. It's very old. Tiamat's from 1750, 60, 70, 1780. So that's a past life connection energetically. It has to do with water energy. You're welcome, Terry. Mhm. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, and these meditations can be very healing. You can like download this and clip out that little portion and keep watching it. So, Angela, it has to do with past life. So many of us I call them past lives, other timelines, and we've been on this, I believe we've been on this Earth planet for a long time, in and out, coming in cycles, coming and going, and having these different experiences for soul expansion. So I do believe that we're all souls having a human experience because energy cannot be created or destroyed. Therefore, what happens when this body is done? So there are things we cannot perceive with these eyes. We don't see a table moving, but it is that moving, right? Or we see helicopter blades going so fast that they disappear. So we're limited by what we can see with this vision. And there's other light spectrums. And so many are seeing things out of their corner of their eyes right now. They're opening up to new gifts. So we've been very limited about what we believe to be true. And so we need to expand that. So these timelines, because our soul can't fit all in this body, we have these timelines of experiences. And so who told you about that one, Angela? I'm curious. Where did you get that info? And Andrew says, I have a Tiamat magic card. That's so cool. Yeah, definitely. You'd be surprised how many games pick up on a lot of what's true, what's reality. I was speaking with my brother at one point and I said, so Star Wars is a lot more realistic than what we believe this world to be. So we'll get there eventually. But just, for now, right now, as this chaos is ending within the planet and we move into a new beginning, I keep getting it'll be till the end of the year on this calendar. And then as we swing into next year, it starts to become more of a rebuild, but I can't say that for fact. I ask questions and it'll shift because something else has shifted. So it's very challenging to predict any sort of future by anyone. You can follow astrology. Yeah, that's probably why you love that game. Can follow astrology though, because there's definitely cycles. And so there's certain things going on that predict even the political stuff happening or the outages happening on the planet, that whatever that software was. I was away, so I just caught the tail end of that. But yeah, I was like, oh, interesting. It's not happening for me, right? But interesting. Everything for me is just like, interesting. Um, all right, let's tap in a little bit more. And how's everyone feeling? Does anyone need any specific healing? If there's something specific you're struggling with, I can certainly give you some support on that. I don't mind at all. So if the gifts are getting stronger, I don't even have to don't even have to ask or say anything anymore. It's just a matter of tapping in. Thank you, Tango. I really appreciate that. So these energies that are flowing through me at this time have increased and increased. And the more I spend time at places like Vedette, and the more I spend time out in nature, the stronger it gets. So I can tell you the last couple days, it's been really intense for me energetically on my crown, which means new information is coming in, even to the point where it felt like I had a clamp on the back of my head yesterday. And so I definitely, absolutely. So Andrew, I've got something you're going to do with me. Absolutely spend more time just being quiet, going out in nature. And I definitely have been napping like every day, every day. I haven't slept very well the last few nights. That was the full moon really didn't really affected my sleep. So it just depends on who you are and where you are and what energies are happening around you. So Andrew, with the physical pain in the ears from sensitivity, I want you to rub your hands together. Activate healing energy, please. And then I want you to put your hands over your ears and take a few deep breaths. Yep. And then you can pinch along your ears. And you can keep doing that because that will help move the energy that's causing the pain inside. And you also have a spot here, and you can massage that with your jaw open and rub it each way 10 times. And lastly, you can go over your ears and rub down. If you find a sensitive spot, stop and massage it. Anybody can do this. You guys could try that right now. It's quite profound. You also have on the top of your head a meridian. So I literally take my nails and because this will open up that meridian if energy's stuck there. And I can feel it off to the side of it. I literally just take my nails and activate. Yesterday I had quite a spot right here, but now it's gone. So we can move our own energy, guys. We don't have to. The more you focus on what's irritating or bothering you, the more you're amplifying it because you're giving it energy. So you want to take that and put the energy focus elsewhere. Yeah. Oh, also your lymph nodes. So helping to move that energy down. If you've seen these ones with the activating, right? And in here, this is where lymphatic drainage, right? Just pressing along those lines. And then underneath. And then here. And then right here at the very bottom, just above the collarbone. And then you can keep going and tap under your arms, right? And keep going. The most important points are under the arms, between the legs, and behind the knees. And I do that every morning. It's part of my activation. Plus I do this tapping to Qigong tapping. I do all kinds of things. Absolutely. So hopefully that helps. Fingertips. Okay. Angela, so she corrected this afterwards. Fingertip, not fibroid. Last month. I don't get that's not what it is. Can I make a recommendation? I would take a break just a little bit for this time period until after. If you can take a break from the Reiki sessions until, it's up to you. Of course, you can do as you choose until about a week after the portal, because it'll make you less sensitive. So, for example, there's certain times where I go see a holistic dentist. I was ready to punch her. I was super sensitive. I was like, I don't know what's going on. So I try to plan things around when I'm less sensitive, but there's a lot of people. This is a very heightened sensitivity point, probably from now until about August 26th, but even just a week after would be good. Now, this is up to you, or have her or him when they're doing the Reiki to be much more gentle in general. So even though Reiki can't hurt anyone, I'm not saying that you're being hurt at all. What I am saying is you're more sensitive at this point than you were. And so just to dial it back, right? And to be very communicative when things are going on for you in the moment. Rose quartz and holding a rose quartz in your hand will help as well. That's what I'm getting. And certainly programming your water a little bit too, right? So, yeah. But no, nothing's creeping back in. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. And you probably have cleared. So now, yeah, that's perfect timing to give it that space. So you're already doing it right. Yeah. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with you. And quite often, especially if we ask for clearing and we set that intention, it's going to be a little more intense. If we ask just for a general, gentle healing, then it's going to be softer, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. But no, I get that you're in really good shape. You're good. Does anyone else have any questions before I wrap it up today? You're welcome. You can try and answer anything you like at this point. I'm wide open. Messages are coming through like crazy. Not like crazy. Beautifully. Perfect, as they should. Yeah, absolutely, Andrea. I would be asking for one every night if that's how you're feeling when you get home. And then work out. I challenge you at your new job to just be a bit more of an observer. Because I know especially when something is new to us, we're much more activated around it. So deeper breaths, very calm, cool, and collected. Yes, working, but not giving it all away. So thank you for asking. No, I was at the debt. And actually, this is one of our quietest summers. I've ran into, it's funny, so I asked for signs, right? I said I was asking for a sign on, for what's going on, what should I do? And I ran into a builder. I haven't seen this builder in 8-9 years. And we were talking about how quiet it is, how all the suppliers are saying the same thing. I also had paint. I had to go pay for some paint somewhere, and I hadn't seen that manager for a while. I asked him the same thing. How's it been? He goes, I don't even feel like exterior season started this year. It's been so quiet. And I was like, I knew that this year would be tight because of what was going on economically for people. I knew it was going to be tight, but I've also been in business for 18 years. So I didn't think it'd be all that tight. Right. And we're just coasting along. And that's okay. And so it gives me a lot more space, to be honest. Thank you for asking, Angela. And we've got another trip this weekend. And then August is my month. I love August. It's one of my favorite months. So to do more me stuff and to purge my place. So get ready to really get out of here and get on the road. Now, I don't know when that is, but one must be ready, right? When the call comes. So yeah, to get that ready and going in. And then I've got a podcast. I'm out podcasting on other shows now. I have one tonight at 9 p.m. somewhere overseas. They didn't send me a link or I would share it. But definitely it's been quite profound and beautiful to be able to reach out and connect more. So I'm working to not be busy bee. I'm working to be a very calm and quiet me. And so I never used to nap, ever. I never used to take time to go sit outside under a tree. So it's a very different Tanja. I'm a much calmer Tanja. Quite a few people that haven't seen me for a while are like, what have you been doing? Because I'm just a different person. I'm not I don't feel this drive to, I've got to achieve. No, it's more important right now to just be, to be me, to be free. And I can still be a bee with the right frequency. So there you go. All right, you guys, I'm sending you lots of love. I'm going to sign off for now. I love you very much. Have a beautiful day. And we are on, let's see, Alex is on Friday. And then Norma and I will be on, we're going to do a recording for Sunday, but it'll be a good recording because we're going to do a topic. So we were just discussing that before we came on. So thank you. Yeah, I am calm. And no matter what's going on, because there's nothing, my reacting in any other way at this time will not change it. It doesn't make it better. Surprise, a little shock sometimes. And I'm like, oh, interesting. But that's just my response. Interesting. Wonder what else might happen now, right? If there's anything I need to do to shift, please guide me. And so sometimes me being away at Vedette, I come home and there's, a bunch of messages. Oh, I almost forgot. We're going to run a special for the 8/8 portal. So you can do one-on-ones for an hour with me for 88.88. That'll go live on, I'll probably launch it tomorrow. I was going to wait till August 1st, but I think I'll just open it up. So we'll run that for the month of August for 88.88. And that gets you an hour. What does that include? A meditation custom to you. And I would like you to do that for like 21 days and then come back in. Everyone who's done that is like blown away how different they feel because it combines healing with calming. So then that means that we're accessing a deeper subconscious part of you. Then I've done freedom from self-sabotage training. It's that subconscious programming that really helps to solidify and cause deep change. And so if that sounds like something you need, then I'm all in. Absolutely. Our real mission is to guide you, to find you, and then to, and to expand into self. This is all about you. It's not about me. I'm not, I'm just a guide. I'm here as a conduit to guide you to be the very best version of you you can be. How's that? All right, you guys.